No. I mean, as a guy too, you realize how rare that is as a
Yeah.
dad. But I found comfort and I shared everything too often. And so I just wanted people to know my story, especially having started in a new career and a new
Hmm.
business with new people that had never met BN. And that was really hard. There's some comfort in sticking around supportive people who actually knew your daughter, your kid. We had our campfire on the beach. Another dad, Christian, and I, we built a sand turtle just because, and it was fun.
It's interesting. So I interviewed Christian yesterday, and he brought up the sand turtle as well.
Yeah, I that's I'm going to stereotype, and I will because people do. It's guys. We like to do things. Of course, there are guys who prefer to talk, and there's guys who prefer to be alone. But I think in general, most guys bond over doing stuff. And I think I'm fortunate in that I have a core group of guy friends that I've been, 6 to 8 guys over the years that we've stayed connected over 15 years, longer than I've been
Wow.
married. And that's been critical. I think I know. But yeah, I think just doing something with another dude is awesome because you can talk if you want. Sometimes you grunt a response and that's enough, and we get it.
Right.
We interpret it correctly or not, but doing something and building a sand turtle was what we got to do.
What's been the most surprising thing to you in this experience of losing a child?
Uh, I think that goes back to probably being a dad who's lost a child. Is what's surprising is how uncomfortable others are in talking about your loss and your grief and your journey, to the point where even if you develop a confidence to talk about your kid, is we will always say we have 2 kids. One of them's right here, and the other one's not with us right now. And you work really hard in order to have those answers and share that with even your friends and your family, to share with them honestly, but let
Mhm.
alone strangers. But man, people get really uncomfortable really quick, and it's just a bummer because everybody likes to talk about their kids.
Yeah. So
So
how do you negotiate through that? And you may negotiate it in different ways depending on different circumstances and different people. But um, what would you offer to others that are dealing with the same thing?
sure, no, and my wife and I approach that very differently. She wants to have the safety first, and then she'll
Hmm.
share. I'm a little bit more bullheaded, and I share, and then see how they react. And if they're nice and good about it, and compassionate about it, then we can talk more. And if they're not, then you put them in a box and say, okay, well, you don't deserve to know more
Hmm.
about my kids, and I'm sorry. Hopefully, you might grow into that for somebody else someday. But that's a wonderful, and I would say for sure that there were some other parents at Ohana Oasis that did. This was their first time being with a group of people where you get to share everything and anything that you're comfortable with, and it can be this much or it could be this much, but it's safe. It's a safe space. I have some, like I said, I've got some great guy friends that I've had for a long, long time, and without a few of them in particular being consistent and being a safe place for me to talk and or call. Um, Sometimes you just call and say it's a hard day,
Hmm.
and you don't need to say anything else. Just it's a hard day, and to hear somebody say, "I get it," or "Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm here for you."
Yeah,
That's what.
there's not really much that somebody can say except for to demonstrate that they love you and they've got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit more about the hard days that come up that you don't expect. What do you do with those and what triggers them?
Gosh, I would say as the years go by, you actually, I don't know, I miss the hard days. I wish they were more frequent because there's nothing better than a good cry. So, which might seem weird or not coming from a dad, but that's it's. I find it a very cathartic moment of truly remembering our daughter and what we lost, and that's good because the worst thing in the world would be forgetting. Embrace your tears while you have them, because as the years go by, you're probably going to have less of them, and you're going to miss them. And not going to, I think we should not going to destructive places, which
Right.
is something that's probably even less spoken of, I think, in grief groups.
Yeah. And I think that there's a distinguishing factor in going in grief, going in a dark place versus a destructive place. Because I think we fear going to the dark place, but we have to
Yeah,
get the light. But that doesn't
yeah.
mean destructive.
No, 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 no. The darkness. I definitely am with you. I think you have to embrace it and get in there and look around and feel it, and then figure out again what's next. If it's, I don't know, the dark places can send you into destructive places for sure if you let it. And
Hmm.
that's when it's good to have. You need your support and your accountability, and you need those people that will just be there for you no matter what you need. I think that's critical.
Well, I think that you have to have the courage to reach out and not feel like you're a burden or feel
Hmm.
embarrassed being too vulnerable. That when you feel like you're skating towards that edge, to reach out to somebody, you've got to be
Absolutely.
willing to. So, what's one thing that you would like to share with people that they don't already know? And that could be people that have not gone through grief. Like, I just wish people would understand this.
I think just knowing that it never changes, or the grief never goes away, and that's okay. Grief is not something to fix. What you've lost is lost. It really is. And uh, even as I learned my new have been and am learning my new self, I still am missing a daughter in my daily life, and that's tough.